Okay, let's go and jump some ranked games with the PYROMANCER and see what we can do today. So we do start off with the Offering Bowl. And we do have an Amulet of Fortune from the rip. With a shield, which is kind of nice because we're going to have a higher chance to stop our opponent from dealing damage. So we should be able to block about 34.5% chance to block. It's going to be a 4.5% increase since it is 15%. But since we're the Offering Bowl, we do want to be offering up something every single round. But I do also want to go ahead and craft up a torch. Since we're going to have the Amulet of Fortune starting. Definitely want the piggy bank, definitely want the heat. I'd love to grab healing herbs, but we do need to roll to try and find a bit of storage, which we didn't get, unfortunately. So what we're going to do now? I think what we're going to do now is we're going to grab our set of healing herbs. We're going to offer that up. That's 8 golds. Let's go ahead and grab our garlic. And unfortunately, this is going to be round 1. I do want to keep in our piggy bank to get that extra bit of gold. And yeah, we're going to move on. So we're going to offer up our shield. Love to keep it, but again, we do want to offer up something every single round. We do want to offer up 7 gold to get those amulets. Because stacking up multiple amulets is insanely broken. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take on this Reaper. Since we didn't get our storage. However, it's actually looking a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Surprisingly, even though we still had a small wooden sword. But we should get some nuts right now. And speaking of nuts, yeah, it's not so nuts. So we don't exactly need storage, but I'm still going to take it for now. Still going to take it. I'd love to keep our shiny shell to go for a Turbo Shelly. Turbo Shelly will be awesome as well. But we could just take our Walrus Tusk, offer that up, that's 8 golds, and we could be insanely greedy and take a second box of riches. Which I'm down for. We're being way too greedy for our own selves. I'm going to move on with this. We're going to offer up these items. And we'll see how we get on. We do get Empower. We should have an increased chance to stack up our damage on our torch. And unfortunately, taking on a Spear, Mage, yeah, they just have way too much damage. Way too much damage. We don't have a ton of survivability. We do end up falling short. But we got ourselves a Corrupted Crystal, which is not that great. Definitely not that great. Now at this point, we did get Spicy Banana. We also got Blood Manipulation, which is incredibly awesome. We also got Power of the Moon, which is kind of okay. But I do kind of want to take Spicy Banana. I want to take Spicy Banana because we do have our Amulet of Fortune to increase the chances, and that is a Hunger Blade super early on. Which makes me want to go back one more round to actually get ourselves that Blood Manipulation. Now I do want to roll. We do get a small gemstone, which I'm going to take for now. I kind of want to take the shiny shell, but I also really do want to roll. And we do get our storage. Because at this point, we're going to have to keep our box of riches. We definitely need a green gemstone in to get some regions, so we get some vampirism. We also need to find ourselves a big old banana. We're going to be offering up our Corrupted Crystal. But at this point, we also want to craft up our Burning Torch. But let's take a small bit more stamina as well. And yeah, let's venture on with this for now. So we do need an extra banana to actually increase the chances we stack up our heat. If we had a Burning Torch right now, we should have crafted up last rounds. We'd actually have an increased chance, once again, to scale up our damage. But it's not looking so bad. We are taking on a Broccoli Goobert Adventure with a Poison Gooberts. And smashing. I'm hoping we get something awesome from a Corrupted Crystal. Yeah, we got something awesome. A freaking Whetstone and a Pocket Sand. Now, it really wants to be greedy by giving us a ton of piggy banks. But I'm going to take our gemstones. I'm going to roll for now. Let's take an extra flame that is gloves if we do want that. I'm going to take it since it is on sale. I'm going to take the extra fanny pack, speeding up our torch even more, and let's roll again. Can we even find ourselves a big old banana? I do want to grab a gemstone. Do you want to set of blueberries? Not exactly. We do get another box of riches. Which, hell yeah, I'm going to take. At this point, I'm going to sell our piggy bank. I'm going to sell our piggy bank because I am going to take this. As funny as that is. I also really want to grab this and grab a little bit more lifesteal. I also do want a leather bag. Leather bag, I'm going to move on with this. I'm going to get rid of our gloves and our pocket sand. Because again, I just want to find an insane amount of amulets. Now, Burning Torch is going to use up an insane amount of stamina, but we should be able to get a bit more heals. We are going to run out of stamina without a banana. Unfortunately, we've seen one banana, never seen a single one after that. But can we take on this ranger? It's looking super close. And unfortunately, we do end up falling short. It is what it is. Let's grab our storage. Let's grab this garlic. Let's roll. And we're going to sell an extra flame. We're going to sell an extra flame because we're going to take this Unstable Recombobulator. Now, I do want to reserve both of these. And at this point, we could actually go for a huge pivot. We can go for a huge pivot, offer up 37 gold worth of an item. I'm going to sell one little chipped amethyst to grab our health pot, because I'm going to be crafting up this Shelly. Let's craft up this Shelly. Let's put in our gemstones. And I'm going to offer up pretty much everything. We wasted a lot of lives to get these box riches. So we can grab a bunch of gemstones, and now we're going to trade them all up for 37 gold worth of an item. Is it going to be good enough? We'll see. Potentially, we're even going to offer up our Amulet of Fortune, which I did really want to make use of, but we're going to get rid of it. We're even going to get rid of our Hunger Blade, which is going to be kind of awesome. Our opponent is going to be stacking up a lot of heat with a Burning Sword, and Shelly is going to go nuts as well. But it's not looking too bad for us. Looking like we're about to win out. Our Torch is dealing 7 DPS and smashing. Now it really depends on what we're going to get from this. A big old Molten Greatsword is kind of crazy. A round 6 Molten Greatsword is kind of absurd. Now, I'm definitely going to grab this amulet. It's an amethyst steel, which is even more crazy. Definitely crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell our little pocket sands. We're going to take this stone skin pot. We're actually going to offer up our chili goobers, even though it is going to give us heat for our Molten Greatsword. We're also going to offer up our dagger as well. And the problem I have is, right now I'm going to sell our blueberries to keep rolling. We do get a chili pepper. It is quite slow. We're going to sell another garlic to roll once more. I definitely want this bit of storage. We're going to venture on. We just want to stack up as much armor as possible. Now, the stone skin pot isn't going to do a whole lot for us except speed up our Shelly. Because our Molten Greatsword is going to be going relatively slow. It does use 5 stamina, which is going to be kind of nuts. We do hit once, and then we have to wait forever for our stamina to come back. And literally, as it came back, it was just a little bit short. So we definitely need to find ourselves a stamina stack. That's 41 damage, because it is crazy damage right now, which is not too bad. But we got ourselves a Wuppertinger, which does help our stamina if we stack up a lot of buffs. We also got ourselves a Divine Pot, which we can actually use, surprisingly. But let's take our storage. We finally got ourselves a banana to help with our stamina, which is kind of amazing. We could take more storage, but I'm going to ignore it for now. We do get our armor though. Now we also want to switch this to this side. We do want to switch this to this side. Now we do have our Divine Pop, but we could also just straight up offer it up because it does depend on if our opponent does have a lot of debuffs. Because we could offer up 19 golds with a Wuppertinger. But what we could also do is take a Health Pot. Take a Health Pot. We definitely need to keep all our flames. We sell these for now. We're going to take another Burning Coal for now as well. But we're definitely going to take our Holy Armor the next round. So we're going to actually offer up a Wuppertinger with our Divine Pot. We could keep it because each pot increases our Turbo Shield by 30%, which is kind of nuts. So we do need to get a bunch of heat from the beginning so our Molten Greatsword can start stacking up our power. But can we take on his opponents? They do have a Ripsaw to deal a lot of damage, remove a lot of our damage. But hell yeah, we definitely can. But what we're going to get right now, a pair of boots, which is kind of absurd. Because it does give us a Dark Lantern. Now Dark Lantern, Molten Greatsword is going to be an awesome combo. Because it drops below 50% HP and the more boots we do add in, we start off with Empower. And the more Empower we do start off with, the better for Molten Greatsword. And also, the crazy thing is, since this counts as 5 fire items, our Dark Lantern actually can deal massive damage with it as well. But I do want to grab our potion belts. For potions. We also have to grab our Holy Armor because I do want to craft this up into a Burning Armor. A Sun Armor. A Burning Armor? Sun Armor. Now it does mean, unfortunately, I'm going to have to move on with this for now. I do want to offer up our Peasant's Flask. I'm going to offer up our gloves on our Turbo Shelly. And yeah, I think this should be pretty good. Dark Lantern is going to be in a less than optimal spot, but once we get our Sun Armor, we should be able to be in a good spot. We lost a lot of our life since we used up our potions as well. But can we win out? Because we are going to begin a Hammer Dagger. They do have a Spectral Dagger to hit through a block. But to get a Molten Greatsword, it does have an insane amount of power. And smashing. Definitely smashing. What do we get? A freaking pineapple and a bag of stones, which is exactly what we don't want. Armor on Still I'm going to grab. We're going to roll. We're going to take the freaking Prismatic Orb. And I think we're going to sell our leather armor. So I do want to take our fanny pack. Now the problem I have is the prismatic orb is really, really awesome for our dark lantern. It's also great for our sun armor, but it does cost a lot of gold that we can straight up offer up, and I'm extremely greedy. But you see what I see? That's another leather boots, which I'm going to have to grab. And we could go for second Shelly, which I'm also kind of down for. So I'm going to actually swap this up top so we get our heal back from our health pot, which is a little bit nice. So I'm going to have to take out the flame, so we're going to start off with a little bit less heat. We're going to offer up 24 gold of items, and let's get to moving. Actually, what we should do is switch this to this side. So we should be able to have 6 heat items. Especially since our Molten Greatsword counts as 5 fire items, we should be able to start off with 5 extra heat on our sun armor. We should be able to start off with a lot of empower. So we should have the potential to almost get our Molten Greatsword actually online. But that's massive damage. We do get online right now, so it's going to go fast. We do run through stamina, so we definitely need to increase our max stamina. We just barely survived that. Actually, we would have resurrected. What am I talking about? We definitely would have won that. However, we got ourselves a bird, Amulet of Life, and a Stone Skin Pot. Now the real question is, what do we actually want? We got a lot of leather bags, so Bagtacular isn't that great for us. It does just give us a ton of value. I do like this skill a lot because it is very, very general. It will increase the speed on our fanny packs, meaning our Molten Greatsword and our Shellys go a lot faster. We also have potion belts, so it is going to give us buffs when a potion inside is consumed, which is really, really awesome. So we really want to make use of our potion belts. It got False Life, which does give us more max life stacking, but since we do start off with 50% HP, we're not going to be overhealing as much as I like that. And I don't really want Power of the Moon, so you know what, I still think I'm going to take Bagtacular for now as well. Let's take our mana orb because I'm going to offer it up. Let's take our boots. Let's take you two. We do get an Amulet of Feasting, which we're going to say goodbye to. So we're going to be offering up our bird with our Amulet of Feasting with our mana orb. We could keep our mana orb to go for big mana buff bombs. We're going to craft up this Turbo Shelly, but I think we do got to move on with this for now. We really do need to add in a banana so we have a high chance to stack up our heat as well. But we should be able to start off with 5 empower since, well, actually 8 empower. We're almost 1 HP. Our opponent could actually make us resurrect with that Spectral Dagger, which will be kind of funny. But we've got 14 power. We just need more heat generation, and amazing. Definitely amazing. What are we going to get? Another pineapple, a divine pot, and a piggy bank. Now, as crazy as this sounds, I do want to grab a Draconic Garb. I want to grab a Draconic Garb. I definitely want to roll. Definitely grab a Stamina Sack. We could literally craft our Wing Boots. I also kind of want to sell our piggy bank as much as I love to keep it because I do want to craft up another Burning Coal. I do want to roll again, and we definitely want another Potion Belt. To the point where I'm going to sell our stone. This little gemstone and our green little gemstone. And we're probably going to keep our Divine Pop because it is going to speed up our Turbo Shellys insane amounts. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be our best bet. We should be able to get a ton of heat from the beginning, and I do want to grab as much Draconic Orbs as possible because if we do start off with 15 heat, we should be able to get some big crits with our Molten Greatsword. The problem is getting to that 15 heat, but that's going to be our next objective because we got such insane empower. That's kind of nuts. We got ourselves a fanny pack, which I'm going to be prioritizing speeding up our Turbo Shelly. Let's grab our smells, 30 block. I'm going to roll for now. We could take another Divine Pot, which I definitely do not want to take. Again, I just want to speed up this Shelly insanely fast. We're going to roll again. We do get another Prismatic Orb on sale, which I do want to offer up pretty badly. We should be able to start off with almost 15 heat, maybe even 16 heat, 17. So if we start off with 16, 17 heat, we start off with 14. Just not enough just yet to get those crits from the get-go. But it's still going to be a lot of power. Alright, we do make our opponent resurrect with the Phoenix, but that's some massive damage. Hell yeah. Now again, we're going to be offering up a Prismatic Orb, which does give us a Hunger Blade, which I'm going to sell our weapons for now. Definitely want to take another Draconic Orb. I really want to grab our storage. And I also really want to grab this Amulet. Amulet of Feasting is not exactly what we want. We could grab the Chili to grab an extra food item, but I don't want that. Don't exactly want any of these extra items. Another Prismatic Orb could be kind of awesome. I'm going to take an extra Flame though. But I do want to change our whole set around because I do want to make better use of our Sun Armor. So we'll be back in a second while I sort it out. So I did change our whole set around. So we should be able to get a little bit more value on our Sun Armor in this position. We should be able to get a ton of heat from the rip. mean we should be able to get our crits, and since we do have a Draconic Orb, we're going to have 6 crits with our Molten Greatsword. Now if we come across Wing Boots, our build is going to be a little bit scary to go up against that, because it is going to dodge our attacks. I do want to continue to roll though. We could grab ourselves a shield if we do want to, but I think I'm going to move on with this. I'm going to offer up our Amulet Feasting along with a stone. We could keep it for strong stone skin pop, but I don't think I'm going to take him. We do start off with 8 in power. We do get a crits, and all of a sudden this is dealing some big damage. And amazing. Now Turbo Shellies are not really doing a whole lot for us anymore, since we're going to go so fast. But we actually end up with an 88 DPS, which is pretty decent. Molten Greatsword doing the vast majority of it, so it's looking pretty darn decent. In terms of heals, we do have 25 healing per second, being a Ruby, Spicy Banana, Chipped Ruby, and even our Sun Armor. And in terms of block, about 250 block, which isn't that great, to be honest. But I do think we can actually make this a lot crazier, especially if we find more boots, just more and more boots, with more and more stones compots. Let's grab the storage, and we are going to have to lose a flame on our Sun Armor, because with our Amethyst Steel in this position, that's 4 boots. 4 boots off the rip with a Dark Lantern is kind of absurd in my opinion. We do got to keep our flames. I do want to grab this, but you know what? I'm going to craft up a pair of stone shoes, because the stone shoes is going to provide a lot of utility for us. But we should be able to start off with insane empower. We should be able to get some crits, and not too bad. Just straight up not too bad. We got our stone shoes. Let's grab our stones kapot. We could craft up a second one. If we find more stones kapot, I'm going to craft up stone shoes, because this is going to block range and effect damage for quite some time. However, I'm going to roll for now. We could have taken the Dragon Egg because that's 4 heat. We could go for double Molten Greatsword, but I think that's not going to be that great for us. We're probably going to grab a Stamina Sack. Let's grab an extra flame. Let's keep rolling. And let's keep rolling for now. If you want the Dragon Egg, I think we just want to take our flames and just keep rolling. Now I'm going to offer up the Piggy Bank along with our Amulet Life. Amulet Life is kind of awesome because it does give us more max life, but again, all I really do want to find is Draconic Orbs, Amethyst Steel, because starting off with even more power, grabbing more crits, guaranteed crits, because that's 3 crits, 4 crits, 5 crits. So it takes us 5 crits to beat our opponents. But we'll see what I get right now. Another Divine Paw. Maybe I should craft up one set of Wing Boots. The problem I see with the early Wing Boots is it does dodge attacks, but then inflicts a bunch of debuffs at the very beginning. Not a whole lot of builds do. You could grab the Heroic Paw, but not as interested in it still. I'm going to take the Unstable Recombobulator with our A-Lamp, and let's roll again. And you know what, let's grab our Box of Riches. Let's keep rolling for now. New on sale, I just want to grab all these items to offer up with our Unstable Recombobulator, because it is kind of nuts to get all those items too. But you know, I'm going to sell our Box of Riches to grab our Amulet. It does give us an Amulet of Fortune, which isn't that great for us, to be quite honest. I'm slowly losing all our flames because I just want to offer up 20 gold worth of items with our Unstable Recombobulator. And I think it's time to finally craft up a strong stone skin pot, which means I'm going to take out a Divine Pot. If we come across a debuff stacking build, we still have 1 Divine Pot to cleanse, and we're going to see. We do slow down our Turbo Shellies, but grabbing a strong stone skin pot is going to give us a small bit more block, which I'm down for. It's not a whole lot more. We are taking on a Cupcake Staff, which is going to be going heat stacking. You do get a vulnerability of blocker crits, which is the problem. We're not going to have crits, but we've got so much in power that our big fire great Molten Sword is going to deal some big damage. But they do have a lot of damage reduction, and they're starting to deal some big damage. Now we do resurrect, giving us time for Molten Greatsword, but it's just not enough time. Unfortunately, we do need to deal that damage with our crits. And we got a lot of stuff, but actually really not great stuff. And we did get the Puzzle Badge. Puzzle Badge is really, really great. It'll help us in longer fights to speed up our Molten Greatsword. Strasand is literally the opposite of what we want to do. So I do want to sell you. The bird could speed up our Molten Greatsword also, but I'm going to roll. Don't worry about any of these items. Again, all I do want to find is Draconic Orbs, Amethyst Steel. Let's keep going. Another Stone Skin Pot. We're going to be crafting up Stone Shoes. Let's keep rolling for now. And let's go and take this fanny bag, because eventually we just want to replace all our leather bags with better and better and better stuff. But let's sell the torch because we're not going to add it anyway. We're going to be offering up our corrupted crystal. We're going to sell our bird to keep rolling. We do get another Draconic Orb, which I do really want to grab this round. Which we're going to sell our customer card. And a flame to grab. So now that's going to be 9 crits. That's straight up going to be 9 crits. We're going to move on. And again, if you come across invulnerability or wing boots like this, they're going to dodge a lot of our attacks. So it's triggered right now. We do miss. We're going to miss again. We miss one more time. And I'm glad we still got the extra 3 crits. Because it's going to matter. Definitely so. We actually got super lucky getting that final Draconic Orb. We got our final Stone Juice, and should we pivot to a Hammer Dagger build? Hell no. That would have been awesome to grab another Burning Coal, but we can't actually take it, unfortunately, so I'm going to keep rolling for now. 30 more block, hell yeah. We could add in a Box of Riches to find some more gemstones, which I'm not too interested in, to be honest. Just going to grab our flames. Let's take another Divine Paw, let's keep rolling. And we do get ourselves another Draconic Orb, which is literally perfect. Literally perfect. Also, we did take the Spicy Banana, and we never even placed the Cider Banana, but it didn't really matter a whole lot. Problem is, I'm also debating on whether grabbing this Prismatic Orb is going to be worth it. Because we could sell this Divine Paw to take it for now. We'd have to sell 3 Flames, and 3 Flames is going to be 3 in power. An extra hit with a Molten Greatsword. But we should be able to start off with about 20 heat, which means we're going to have 10 hits with a Molten Greatsword. We're not going to realistically get through 10 hits. So I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to sell 3 Flames. And I am going to take it. But again, we just want to be going fast with it, so honestly, it's not really going to do a whole lot for us. There's no real reason to take it, except for when we do resurrect, we inflict a bunch of devos, but that's really about it. It does give us more healing efficiency from our Turbo Shellies, which is also kind of awesome. But yeah, this is going to be our final build. And what a crazy Leather Boots, Molten Greatsword, Dark Lantern type build to drop us below 50% HP to trigger all our Leather Boots to give us an insane amount of power and block. We're also decreasing the damage our opponent does with ranged and effect damage for 7 seconds of the fight. To have Molten Greatsword with 12 crits guaranteed is kind of crazy. And we're going to see how good this is going to be. We're going to slow it down. We are going to begin a Flame Whip, Burning Banner, Sun Armor type opponents. We do get our big heats we're going to be using up to stack up our power. And our Molten Greatsword should be able to deal some big crits with every hit. Our opponent does have a lot of damage reduction, but they're not going to be able to survive this. Because we still have an insane amount more crits and smashing. So we actually end up with 107 DPS, which is pretty decent, even though our opponent did have a lot of damage reduction with a cap of discomfort. I said a lot of damage reduction, it's literally just a cap of discomfort. Now in terms of healing, we actually managed to get about 34 healing per second, but the fight only lasted 5.5 seconds. Well, 6 seconds. So it's not a whole lot of heals. And in terms of block, we managed to get about 65 block per second, again at 380 block. Being our Sun Armor, strong Stone Skin Pots, and Stone Shoes, as well as Leather Boots. So overall, definitely a crazy build. Another Amethyst Steel build, but Amethyst Steel is just a cracked amulet. With this Riot 3 lives left, let's go and see just how much rank points we got with this super awesome build. Plus 11. So not too bad. But I am going to leave you here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even subscribing. And I hope to keep looking for the next one. I'll see you next time. Okay, we're back in history, and we're going to see what we can do with some round 18 fights. We are going to begin a Mana Mastery, Druid Guardian, Katana, Spike Staff, and they're not even going to go into Battle Rage. Now, can we deal with Ukulele, Stone Golem, Enchanted Weapons, Dagger Ranks type action? Are they going to be able to even activate their Stone Golem? They do have a hammer to try and stun us as well, but it's not going to matter. Now, can we deal with another Cupcake Staff with some Poison Frogs and a Snake? They're going to be going for big mana bombs. Actually, they're going to be turbo stacking Luck with the Snake, which is going to be good for us. Not so good for opponents. To be honest, if they had a Fancy Fencing Rapier, I think it could be kind of a crazy setup as well. Now, they do get invulnerability for such a long time, but we have crits for such a long time that it's not going to matter as much. As you can see, our damage does drop off without those crits, and they might actually strike because of that. It does make us resurrect, but we do actually manage to win out. Now, can we deal with a Life-Stealing, Piercing Arrow, Blood's Horn, Fancy Fencing Rapier? They're going to resist some crits with the helmet, which is problematic. That's for sure. But we managed to get some crits through, but they're dealing some big damage back. We do resurrect, and just enough time to get our opponent's hell again.